Welcome to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news, daily fail, meme review, and the software releases. Drop us a like and subscribe. Let's kick it off with the numbers. Here we go.
Clock loading dashboard.
Okay, we're starting with a block height of 657,413, Bitcoin price 17,606, chain rewrite days still holding steady at 616. Thank you, Satoshi. And the total lightning capacity, 1,046.38 BTC. We got a little bump there, man.
Dude, these numbers are so bullish. I'm sticking to my guns, Phil. I'm sticking to my guns, Phil. I think 20K by the end of the year.
Objective. Just be objective. You have to be objective, right?
Okay, never mind.
I see a lot of people put like I see some hate against the excitedness of the bull run, but
it was Satoshi who told me to say that.
We're gonna blame him.
It was the chicken. Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. All right, so today's daily fail is brought to us by Christine Lagarde. I think she's the the head of the IMF? Pretty sure. Anyways, so she said this a while back. We should be happier to have a job than to have our savings protected. So this is some fantastic MMT theory, total bull crap. Okay, this is just utter garbage. They are 100%. They don't want you to think about your savings, because if you think about your savings, you'll realize who is robbing you.
Dude,
so just be grateful that you get to wake up every day and go to work while somebody else steals the value of your previous time and work that you've already earned. Isn't that wonderful?
Man, it makes me it makes me livid, dude. This is the same globalist agenda. She's revealing what she's actually thinks of these people. This is feudalism / communism 2.0. The World Economic Forum, they came out, we've talked about it in this show.
Yeah.
We'll pop it out right here. It says in 2030 you will own nothing and be happy, right? So that is what she's talking about. She wants you constantly on the rat race, right? Enriching themselves, but you, the deplorable, the average Joe, right, has no right to own anything. Right. So it's so fucked up. But you know what? There's a silver lining, guys. And I apologize for cursing. Bitcoin will beat all of them.
Yep. Bitcoin fixes this.
Absolutely. Fix the money, fix the world. Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
We got another one from Bitcoin Movie Clips.
Nice.
They just keep on giving. Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Unlucky.
Dude, okay. That was pretty good. It wasn't as good as yesterday's. It made me laugh. It was funny. It was with Sacha Baron Cohen. I have a weak spot for that guy. That guy is pretty funny. So I'm going to give it a 8.5. 8.5. That's a terrible 5, but you see an 8.5 from me.
What nice. All right. 9.0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not 9 point. 9 point. Fuck, you used the O. You took away my ability to make a joke out of it.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. But I mean, look. Okay, so why the 8.5?
Dude, because it was funny. It was good. It was really funny. It was very straight to the point. That literally was a great meme. But dude, the memes that we've been seeing for the last couple of days, they've just upped the bar so high that I don't feel like it deserved a 9. But it was a great meme.
So I went with the 9, just because, of course, like you, I have a weakness for Sacha Baron Cohen, and I think that's just I found it incredibly entertaining and funny.
Yeah,
so I couldn't help it.
True that. Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, so the rise of major Bitcoin mining institutions is inevitable. This article is actually written by a friend of mine, Ethan Vera. He is the CEO and founder of Luxor Mining Pool, and he basically makes the point that, look, at its peak performance in 2018, Bitcoin was able to produce over 95,000 rigs per week. Per week, guys, right? And what we've been reporting on this show for the last couple of weeks, also, we've seen at least 2 or 3 public companies, Phil, that we've reported that have announced major mining operations themselves. Now, this makes me, it's a bittersweet feeling. Why? On one end, the Bitcoin hash rate does go higher, so Bitcoin becomes more secure, right? On the other side, this constellation, or what's it called? What's the word for this, Phil? This commingling, this concentration of these big companies, right, taking over the majority of the hash rate sits uneasy with me. I don't like the fact that these huge companies launch these huge mining operations. What I love about Bitcoin, right, and it is the most decentralized cryptocurrency, is the fact that it is the most decentralized cryptocurrency. So when you see this huge consolidation, that's the word, right, of basically these huge mining consortiums, right, and especially when you see institutions doing it, right, it's bittersweet. Like I said, on one end, it makes Bitcoin more secure because the hash rate goes higher. But on the other end, it's like it kind of leaves the pleb out at the same time, right? The barrier to entry just becomes higher, right? Because as a pleb, you're going to have to compete with these huge mining consortiums, right? You're going to have to compete with them directly, right? Because the higher the hash rate, the less piece of the pie you're going to get when you're mining, right? So it's a bittersweet feeling. It's really cool. It really makes Bitcoin so much stronger, but at the same time, the pleb kind of gets left out. The barrier to entry is just so much higher, and mining is very, very capital intensive. What are your thoughts on this, Phil?
Yeah, I think that, look, what's because Bitcoin is for anyone that wants to join. This is the other side of the sword, right? The other side of the sword is that we are going to have these massive institutions that are going to want to, grab their share of, of the, profits or the, the strength of Bitcoin, to leverage to their own ends. And we can't really prevent that, right? We can't really prevent that from happening. And that's part of, that's part of what's good about Bitcoin, right? It's censorship resistant. On the other hand, I am happy to see that, some of these companies are not concentrated in China, right? So we do get to, enjoy that decentralization aspect. But like you said, because these companies have the capital, the capital to move massive amounts and do it quickly, they can scale up their operations, right? They can scale up very fast, and they can start to take share quickly. So,
absolutely. And then,
look, we're going to see some wars, man. There are some crazy times ahead, right?
Absolutely.
Like this is the beginning.
But it's a good war. It's a good war because as much as people are fighting over that piece of the pie every 10 minutes, that 6.25 Bitcoin, right? And all those people fighting over for that same thing just further increases the security of Bitcoin. It further increases the reason that Bitcoin has value, right? That uncensorability, that immutability that it has. And Phil, our next piece of news, this I thought was pretty cool, right? So Poolin launches an initiative to activate Taproot, encouraging other mining pools to join, right? So it's pretty cool. It's a mining pool that controls about 13% of the total hash rate. They're not as big as F2 pool and Ant pool, but they are a pretty big mining pool. And basically, Phil, Taproot was already implemented into the latest version of Bitcoin Core. And what it does, I'm not going to get into the technicalities of it, but what it does is that it increases privacy, right? It increases some user privacy, especially when you're using multi-sig transactions, if I said that correctly. But what is the significance of this? First of all, Phil, I love Bitcoin, right? Even though there's a new upgrade, and even though this upgrade does benefit everyone, you can't, unless everyone decides to upgrade their nodes, right? It doesn't matter, right? So it's like a double-edged sword. It protects Bitcoin because you can't just upgrade everyone's software at the same time, a malicious actor. But at the same time, it makes it increasingly difficult to basically upgrade the whole community, right? The whole network. So you know what? It is pretty cool to see Poolin launch an initiative like that. I don't see what incentive they would have. It's very strange, especially for a mining pool. Maybe they want the betterment. You know what? That actually makes sense. They just want the betterment of Bitcoin, so they're just incentivized to make it better, right? So those are my thoughts on that. What about you, Phil?
I think so. Look, number one, to the end user, they're not going to see any difference from Taproot. Okay, like that's the that's the bottom line. To a retail user, to a person that's just using their node and transferring Bitcoin, you are totally not going to notice this. This is a back end development, right, for the infrastructure of Bitcoin going forward. So I think that, maybe the mining pool is somewhat incentivized to get that going sooner than later. And there's really no harm in it, right? I mean, there really isn't to have it going, because the reality is that nobody can really take advantage of it until it's actually everywhere. So, anyways, I think it's cool that it's already been in the Bitcoin Core client, in the upcoming release, and that we're starting to see this adoption from the mining pools.
Absolutely, like a mining pool taking the initiative to go forward and implement it, and try to get others to implement it as well. That's awesome. Yep. Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell us about it?
Software releases. All right, so for today, we've got Tails OS version 4.13 that was released, and the link will be down below in the show notes.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that. Guys, we got attacked today. Some shitcoiners did not like what we were saying during our daily fail. They didn't like it. Within 2 minutes of the video being uploaded, guess what? We got 5 dislikes. And so you know what that means? That means that some sour guy who was holding bags that we criticized, we were telling the truth, they just decided to attack our video. It doesn't matter. Our community was strong. We fought back. We got that like ratio back up. So guys, please support us. If you like the channel, please give us a thumbs up. And if you love the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe hit that subscribe button. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin. See you later, guys.